Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Martin, and on behalf of my partner Ryan Powell and I'd first like to start by thanking you for taking the time to hear our presentation today, as well as for your consideration of this partnership proposal. Throughout our presentation, we will be providing you knowledge of the Publix brand, the Gator Sports Properties brand, and displaying other data and knowledge that we think is important to understanding why this partnership will be effective for both parties. Additionally, we will be presenting two ideas that we believe will go a long way in making this partnership beneficial for both Publix and Gator Sports Properties. So let's get started. To begin, I wanted to first start by telling you a little bit about the history of Publix, as well as show you a few valuable public statistics that I think do a really good job showing you where they've been at these last 5 or 6 years. So to start, Publix was founded in 1930 by George Jenkins, and Publix first set its roots in the state of Florida before expanding throughout the southeastern United States, where they now have all of their stores based out of. Fast forward 91 years, and Publix now has 1,239 stores with over 200,000 employees. Additionally, Publix currently ranks as the largest employee-owned supermarket chain in the United States. And moving on to statistics, since 2015, Publix has increased their net sales figures from 32.36 billion to 44.9 billion in 2020. Publix currently ranks seventh in sales among all leading supermarkets. And lastly, in 2019, which is the most recent year of data available, Publix spent $245.4 million on marketing and advertising. To me, the two biggest things that jump out here are the fact that Publix is currently ranks as the largest employee-owned supermarket chain in the United States, and that Publix currently ranks seventh in sales among all leading supermarkets. And I say this because to me, it's so impressive they're able to do this while just being based in the southeastern United States. There's obviously huge supermarket chains that are spread out all across the country and in every different region. But for them to hold 200,000 employees and be the largest employee-owned supermarket chain and to rank seventh in sales among all leading supermarkets while just being based in the southeastern United States says a lot to me.
Even before the expansion of Publix stores, George Jenkins always dreamed big and always wanted his stores to be rooted in the standard of cleanliness and being family friendly and providing quality products to their customers. Today, the foundation of those standards can be seen in their mission to become the world's leading retailer of high quality foods. They pledge to be passionately focused on customer value, be waste free, committed to the dignity, worth, and job security of their associates, be committed to the highest standards of stewardship for their investors, and be involved as responsible citizens in their communities. So here we're able to see the effectiveness of Publix's mission statement, as we can see that they've received numerous awards and recognition that includes, and this is not at all limited to, they've been named one of Fortune's 100 best companies to work for. They've earned Publix recognition as one of the great places to work. They've been named one of Fortune's list of best big companies to work for. They've been number one on Newsweek magazine's America's Best Customer Service and Supermarkets list. They've also been named the most trusted grocery retailer by Winsight Grocery Businesses. And again, these are just a few of their accomplishments. Also, in addition, even though they have huge rivals such as Whole Foods, Target, Harris Teeter, Walmart, Kroger, that still has not stopped their stock price from climbing. Just as of August 1st of this year, their stock price climbed from $61.30 per share to $63.10 per share. And it's no wonder and it's no coincidence that Publix has been successful as it has been. They have an awesome marketing approach that's really focused on customers rather than the stores itself. Their goal is to maintain competitive advantage by ensuring that their product and service offerings are best suited to the consumer's needs. They have a consumer or customer focused marketing process that includes ensuring that the customer needs and wishes drive product creation and performance. They design long-term profit maximizing marketing strategies, effectively convey them across the organization, and ensure their successful implementation. And finally, they create a sense amongst target customers that Publix best and uniquely meets their needs and wants.
A little bit about who we are at Gator Sports Properties. Gator Sports Properties is the multimedia rights holder and sport marketing extension for the University Athletic Association. Additionally, a local Learfield team works in collaboration with the University of Florida to expand the Gator brand to other organizations and create those different partnerships. And lastly, Gator Sports Properties is currently partnered with over 80 different businesses operating in various different industries, such as the automotive industry, the insurance industry, the banking industry, the food and beverage industry, and numerous other different industries that are all associated with the Gator brand due to the help of Gator Sport Properties. Before my partner Ryan Powell and I get into the true meat of this proposal, I first want to show you the four main objectives that we hope to accomplish during the presentation that we think will make this partnership a reality. First, we hope to display creative ideas that will be beneficial to both Gator Sports Properties and Publix. Second, we hope to display a clear return on sponsorship investment for Publix. Next, we want to make sure that we have presented useful data that displays growth opportunities for Publix. And finally, we will present exciting and engaging activations that align with the Publix brand's community service efforts.
So, as mentioned before, Publix is all about having a positive impact in the community and doing things that are focused on the community. They like to have an emphasis on youth, education, hunger relief, and alleviating homelessness. And for one of the ideas that I want to propose to you all is a partnership with Gator Sport Properties and Publix that actually focuses on hunger relief. So one idea that I have is to host a celebrity charity kickball tournament, and it would be sponsored by Publix. Kickball is one of those childhood favorite games that has actually become popular for adults. There's a lot of kickball leagues out there. There's a lot of kickball tournaments out there. Adults actually compete in these tournaments for cash prizes, and so we can actually that just gives you an idea of just how big kickball has become. So the idea that I want to propose is hosting a 3-day weekend tournament, and we could name it something fun, such as Kicking It with the Gators, but it'll bring current Gator student athletes, former athletes, and fans together to raise money and awareness for the fight against hunger. The idea would be that the former student athletes and current student athletes, they would actually be the ones who's competing in this kickball tournament. And so it would give fans an opportunity again to mix and mingle and actually see some of their favorite Gators actually compete in something different than what they are actually used to seeing them compete in. We could actually also promote Publix, and Publix can actually have specials that are running for different tailgate options as well during this tournament, as this tournament will be hosted among many places across the campus. We can actually also sell tickets exclusively at Publix stores for this. We could work to have a goal of $1 million raised throughout this weekend, and we can donate some of those funds to a national organization such as Feeding America, or we could look to pour that money back into the community. But at either rate, we would want to make sure that the funds that are raised actually goes back to their philanthropic effort of fighting against hunger. Although, Florida Gator fans across the country are welcome to this event, we really want to focus on the state of Florida and, specifically like the city of Gainesville as well, just because that's an easier reach. We would also want to target males and females ages 18 to 55. We would want to target those philanthropists as well as Gator sport enthusiasts for this event. So there are a couple of reasons that we want to target the demographic that I mentioned on the previous slide. One is Publix believes that Florida is their top market. They also believe that the Gen X demographic is their top target group, and they spend about $350 on groceries each month. That demographic also aligns with that of the Florida Gators, as 37% of their customer base falls into that category as well. So, again, we want to target those who kind of live in the state of Florida, the Gen X market. We also want to target Gator sport enthusiasts, and we also want to target those philanthropists as well. So now that I've presented this idea, I'm going to pass it off to Andrew, who will also present another idea that we have.
For our second idea, I'd like to present to you what I call the Publix Pick Six. The Publix Pick Six will be an in-game activation at every Florida Gators home football game for the entirety of a season. How it works is if at any point in a home game, the Florida Gators defense gets a pick six, every student in the stadium will leave with $20 in store credit to Publix in the form of a card or coupon. Obviously, pick sixes aren't super common, but I think that's what makes this idea so special. Especially with Florida now coming off a disappointing season this year and having to bring in a new head coach for the start of next season, I think this could be a really unique spark that helps ignite the fan base and bring a little bit of a new energy to the culture of Florida football home games. And the next slide, I'll get into more of the details of why this activation will be beneficial. There are numerous reasons that I think this activation will work, but I've narrowed those thoughts down to four main reasons here. First, as I briefly mentioned in the previous slide, I think this promotion will create a new buzz in the stadium that is beneficial to Gator sports properties. Second, fans, and especially the students, will be further incentivized to be loud on defense in the hopes of a pick six happening. Third, this could create the opportunity to run similar promotions with Publix at other Florida Gator athletic events, such as a basketball or baseball game. And the next slide, I'll get into some of the numbers that support the effectiveness this promotion could have for Publix, not only at Florida football games, but for basketball and baseball games as well. But first, my final reason why I think this would work. I was originally raised in Georgetown, Texas, about half an hour north of Austin. Growing up, I would often go to Longhorn sporting events, and in high school, my dad and I even had tickets to the basketball games. Throughout the years, Texas ran some pretty cool promotions with various companies, like a recliner shot with a furniture company local to Austin, where a fan had to make a free throw while reclined in a chair. But by far the most effective promotion I saw was a 100-point promotion with Plucker's Wing Bar. The concept is very similar to that of the public pick six that I'm presenting to you. If Texas scored 100 points or more in a win, then everyone in the stadium would receive a coupon for 10 free wings on the way out. Now, if you're familiar with college basketball at all, then you know 100 points does not come easy. But again, that was kind of the best part. Texas came so close multiple times throughout the year, and every time they did, you could feel the energy and atmosphere in the Frank Erwin Center rise. And while it may have taken Texas until late January of that season to make it happen, my dad and I went to Pluckers after numerous games throughout the season where they didn't reach the 100-point mark, simply because we'd been thinking about it all game. I think the Publix Pick Six has the potential to bring a significant boost in energy to the Florida home games. And as a college student, I can tell you firsthand how important free groceries would be to me. Additionally, you have to admit the Publix Pick Six has a pretty catchy ring to it. As I briefly mentioned in the last slide, I have some Scarborough supporting data here that I think displays the true potential to run this promotion not only at Florida football games, but also at basketball and baseball. So, to start for football, Florida fans are 117% more likely to attend 1 and 2 college football games, 36% more likely to attend 3 to 9 games, and 26% more likely to attend 10 plus games than the average resident. And moving on to basketball and baseball, the reason I think this is so important, because in the story I told on the last slide about Plucker's Wing Bar, that not only became a big thing at Texas basketball games where it started, but they grew across the entire campus. It became a staple at the football games, the baseball games, soccer. It was everywhere around campus for the following years, and it still currently is a big staple there. So for Florida basketball games, Florida fans are 126% more likely to attend 1 and 2 college basketball games, 87% more likely to attend 3 to 9, 129% more likely to attend 10 plus than the average resident. And finally, baseball, Florida fans are 31% more likely to attend 1 to 2 games and 84% more likely to attend 3 to 9 games than the average resident.
And so, with these ideas that both Andrew and I presented, you would also need somewhere for Publix to also be able to promote these ideas and also be able to just to promote the brand in general. So, one thing that we want to propose is Publix being a presenting sponsor for GatorCountry.com. It's actually an online publication for Gator sports, and that's where you can get all your news regarding football, basketball, baseball. You can get recruiting news there, and they also have a podcast as well. And here you can actually see some of the data from the GatorCountry.com podcast. You can see here they have about 5.1K listeners per episode. They also have reach across different social media accounts, such as YouTube, which is at 1.3K subscribers. Facebook, they have about 14.5K followers. You see their reach across Twitter at 21.8K followers, Instagram at 7.5K. And so we can see here that being featured or being that presenting sponsor on GatorCountry.com will also give great visibility to the Publix brand. So after hearing about Publix and hearing a couple of our ideas for Gator Sport Properties and Publix partnership, you still may be wondering, why should this partnership exist? And so I want to present you all with a little story about myself. Growing up in the 90s as a teen, I remember when Publix first came to my small town of Noonan, Georgia. And when it first came, it was the new kid on the block. It was the popular store. It was known for their great food, especially their fruit. However, my parents didn't shop at Publix because it was considered to be more expensive than the store that they were accustomed to shopping at. And so as I got older, even when I moved out, I continued to shop at my childhood store just because that's what I was accustomed to. Fast forward, there was a time that I was working at this particular company and the March Madness tournament was coming up. And normally I take off for the March Madness tournament. I kind of consider it a holiday, but this year I could not take off. And so I arranged to have a bracket challenge. And, during the tournament, we would set up screens and everyone would be responsible for bringing a dish. So moving along, the day before the actual tournament started, the organizer, forgot about the dish that I had to bring. And so I had to scramble to go to the store and find my ingredients that I needed. Now, of course, when you're scrambling, you can never find what you actually need when you go to the first store. So because I couldn't find what I needed, I actually had to go to Publix. And mind you, this was the first time that I actually really shopped at Publix. It was the first time that I walked up and down the aisles. And I was amazed at just by how clean the store was. I was amazed at the customer service, but I was also amazed at the buy one, get one deals that they had. So moving along, I got everything that I needed out of the store, and I went back to work the next day, and I was telling my coworker about Publix, and she told me, she was like, "Oh yeah, I always shop at Publix. Like that's my go-to store. I always take advantage of the buy one get one deals." And so from that point forward, I became a loyal customer of Publix. And so I really won't shop anywhere else. And so I say all that to say that there are probably other people that feel the same way that I did, or they share the same story that I did. And they actually have maybe the same perception of Publix that I had. And so they just need an opportunity to have their eyes opened and an opportunity to see Publix in a different light. And I feel that this partnership with Gator Sport Properties and Publix will actually do that. So now I'm going to kick it over to Andrew to close us out and to provide information on where you can reach us and next steps.
On behalf of my partner, Ryan, Powell, and I would like to thank you all again for taking the time to give us the opportunity to present this proposal to you today and for taking it into consideration. If you do have any questions following the proposal, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to answer any question you might have. And thank you. Have a great day.